Oh, hello. It has been a while. Welcome in, everyone. I hope that you can all see me okay. So it's a bit of a test setup at the moment. I've got a camera in here, and I've got like tablet, and I've got a phone, so I can like reach out and like move all of the scenes around. But I don't actually have anything to see the stream as you guys are seeing it. I can only see the screen on the camera. So if there is anything that's looking a little bit off, please bear with. Hoping at some point that I might be able to set up so I can have a in here, just so I can actually like look at the stream and check if things are okay. But currently the computer is on the other side of the wall behind the camera, so I have no way of knowing if everything looks alright. So welcome in, morning, evening, afternoon to Belle. Hey Belle, long time no see. Hey Anastasia Beaverhausen and Lard Teamaker as well. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah, it's been a long while. It's been a very long time since I've so I thought, what better way to come back than with a completely new type of stream. Hey Michael, welcome in. Yeah, so I'm hoping my sound is okay. I've got a little bit of music on just because there's probably going to be a lot of times where I go quiet, especially chopping things. I don't want to take off my fingers. Definitely not on the stream. I've got the microphone in here. That was a last minute addition because originally I was using the microphone on this headset, and the microphone is okay, but in order to use the microphone, I had to go onto the hands-free setting, and sound quality for the hands-free setting is jank as shit. I lie. It is absolutely horrendous. So, like, I'm not going to subject you to that, because I'm assuming that if it sounds terrible to me, then all of the output that's going through these is going to sound awful as well. So I've brought the microphone in here. It's going to sound a bit roomy because I am so far away from it, but hopefully it sounds okay. Who knows? If I'm able to do these more often, I might even try and get some lab mic so I can have it a bit. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I can just about read chat. I am very short-sighted and the chat is very, very small, so if I do miss anything, please forgive me. Chat is like attached to the same arm as the microphone, the camera, so if you see me looking off towards the side of the camera, that would be why. What's on the menu today? So, I am glad you asked. We have, behind me, as you can see, we have an array of things. It's unintentionally actually going to be a bit of a sort of veggie, not quite vegan, mostly veggie stuff, just because I've got loads of things to prep. Hey,
a wild Crafty has appeared.
Ah, thank you for the bits. Got my glasses on so I can read. Excellent, lad. That is perfect. Yeah, so today I am going to be prepping a lot of vegetables because I have a ton of like carrots and parsnips that I bought a couple of weeks ago and kind of left in the fridge, forgot to do it. So I'm going to prep those up. I'm going to sort of roast them off a little bit. Let me have them on. I'm going to roast those up a little bit and then we're going to freeze them. So I'm going to make those into sort of ready to go like roasted veg, basically. Honey roasted veg. Because that's one of my favourite things. And I bought myself some pork for this weekend. So I'm going to have a nice roast pork dinner. And yeah, I'm going to get all of those prepped up and shoved in the freezer, so whenever I want veg, because the shop ones are okay, but I prefer to make my own. And I've got some really so I want them. Yeah, so we're gonna do some honey roast vegetables. I've got a lot of carrots, so I'm also gonna prep up some burgers, some veggie burgers that I've tried before. They are carrot, cumin, and kidney beans, and they are actually really, really nice. I made some a while ago and really enjoyed them. And my veggie friend was a fan of them as well, so we're gonna make some of those. And I've got some sweet potatoes. I'm gonna chop those down and make some sweet potato fries, because I object to paying like £3.50 for a teeny tiny bag in the supermarket, and they really don't take that long to make. So I'm gonna do those, save myself a bit. And then finally, which will actually be the first thing that we do, in fairness, I am making some coconut ice cream. Gonna see how that goes. Got the ice cream, like the actual insert for the ice cream maker, sitting in the freezer at the moment. We're probably not gonna get to the stage of actually freezing the ice cream today, but I am gonna at least make a base, because it needs to, obviously we need to boil it together and then it needs to cool right down in order to make the ice cream. So depending on how long it takes to actually cool down, and it's quite warm in here so it'll take a little bit longer, depending on how long that takes, I may or may not get to it off stream. If not, I'll finish it off stream. But yeah, so those are all the things that I'm going to plan to do today. It sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But a lot of it is mostly just peeling and chopping. So it's going to be boring stuff, but I thought, yeah, why not, throw on a stream, put some music on in the background and chat to you guys while I do it. So yeah, I'm going to try and get started. I will also preempt this. I am probably going to be waving my arms around like a crazy person, because I had some stuff planted in here, and all of those little teeny tiny flies seem to have got into the soil, so there is like loads of those teeny tiny annoying little like wispy flies hanging around, and of course they're all hanging around the veg because they can smell that it's there. So if you see me waving my arms at stuff, yeah, that would be why. All the food is safe, it's just that obviously they're landing on. So I'm going to make sure that anything that I clean and prep is then put away, so there isn't going to be anything on it. It's just annoying while they are here. Okay, so get started. I might sort of move the camera up and down as I go, because I've got the chopping board here, but obviously that is just off camera. Sort of the only place that I could really put the camera that kind of made sense. So sort of see the hob and you can sort of see me standing here, but whether or not you want to actually see what I'm doing, try and sort of out. And also, if at any point the camera does go blank and I don't notice, please let me know. For some reason I cannot plug the camera in, so it's DSLR. I've got a dummy battery so I can actually plug in like a power adapter to it, but for some reason it won't power on from the plug. It will only power on from the computer, and the cord is about that long. I'm several feet away from the computer, so I cannot plug it in here. I have one battery in, 2 currently charging, so they are just permanently on charge at the moment. So I think, as I've said that the camera is already gone. So I'm going to try and get the other battery. It's like it heard me. This is concerning. We may not get very far, because I don't know if these will hold charge long enough. There we go. Okay, see if that works. Can everyone still see me? You can't eat at the moment. Oh, Beebs, what happened? Why can't you eat at the moment? Yeah. Well, just doing jacket spuds. Oh, nice hoof. I actually had a jacket spud this morning. That was literally my breakfast. So I was like, I'm gonna be doing the stream all through lunchtime, so I'll have it before. Okay. So excellent, you can see me. Cool. That means I don't have to faff around when the battery dies. So we haven't had super long with it in. I think I started it about 20 minutes before stream, so it lasted about 40 minutes. I might just have to rush through stuff and find out how I can get it plugged in at a later point. This could go terribly wrong. We will find out. Had a filling done. Oh no, beef. Oh, that sucks. You have my sympathies. Well, I hope that it heals up quickly so you can have. Okay, so gonna crack on with the ice cream. Forgotten what the word was. I probably shouldn't make a habit of like putting equipment on the hob, but currently that's the space that I've got, so that will be fine. You get to see the chaos that is my kitchen. I wrote out the recipes that I'm using, and then just stuck them to the camera arm, so I'm just sort of gonna keep looking around the camera, not directly at it at some point. Okay. Also, hey Yogi, welcome in. Gotta work with the space you have there. Yeah, exactly. Organised chaos. Yes. Organised chaos is definitely how I roll. So we are going to crack open the coconut milk. So this one is, I believe it's actually, does it depend? It is at least a dairy-free recipe, because I have dairy. I shouldn't have dairy. I still eat it, but it has made me very poorly. So, with it being so hot, I've been eating a lot more ice cream. So, instead, got 940 ml of coconut milk. At least it's also really helpful. I bought the coffee table in. That's currently got the mic arm attached to it because there was nothing else that I could attach it to close enough to the door. But it does mean I've got a little bit more workspace, so I can sort of just dump anything that I don't need directly onto the table. Okay. $40 ml coconut milk. I'm going to put that straight in the fridge so the flies can't get to it. Big flies. Tiny coconut tits. Still wondering how milk could go. Yeah, yeah. The tiny little, you know. Sounds like an utterly fun thing to try. Way. Here for the chaos. Yeah, it is definitely going to be chaos. So that is all our coconut milk. We are then adding 100 grams of sugar to that. And I will move this in a second because I've actually got the hammer. I need to sneeze. What now? What now, sneezes? This is going to make a lot of ice cream as well. It says like, oh, 6 portions. This is a lot. There we go. What? So the recipe, I have adapted the recipe a little bit because it says to add 2 sugar. Basically, I've got in paste, not essence, so it'll be a little bit stronger, so I'll add less. I've also got some coconut extract, which is surprisingly hard to find. But as I want it more coconut than vanilla anyway, that suits me fine. I'm going to add that instead. So, find something to put this in. So we take out a little bit, just slurry with, and that'll help thicken. So a little bit of salt. And that would be a good shape. Nice. Because the last time I didn't wipe it down, and burn inside to the bottom of that. I also have to say, I am fully loving this hob. So, the hob isn't actually attached to the oven. I've got a separate hob because the one for the oven is second hand, but it's a gas oven. I don't have gas here, so I bought an induction hob to sit on the top of it, so I can still use the hob. And I think this might actually be my favourite. I was never much of a fan. I've always preferred gas, and then I've actually used this and I fully converted to it. So. If you're ever in need of switching up your oven, I highly recommend getting good induction. Don't bother skimping it out because it's not. Less sugar there is, the harder the ice cream will turn out. So, I'm going to make sure that I get that. this might actually be the end of that bowl. It has a massive crack in the bottom. I didn't realise how bad that actually was until I've just picked that up, and the coconut milk has leaked through. Cool. That's a good start of the day. Don't lose too much. And put in just a teeny bit of salt. Not too much. We don't want a savoury ice cream. Like, I was able to get on cake, serve 6 people. They bloody met me. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right, serving suggestion, like 8 or something. Like, oh yeah? Try it. Sounds like a challenge. I'm just going to keep whisking that every now and again. Okay, like those pans. Yeah, these pans are really nice. I probably shouldn't actually touch that. Pans are really, really nice, and I will say actually, so I'm going to start doing some other prep while I'm waiting for that. I will give Mook and Targlass a shout out, because they actually sent me customers actually helped me buy those, and the air fryer sort of put that towards those. Yeah, I've got the pans from Asda, like a little set. Came with a big one, sort of small one, and then a little milk pan. And then it came with like 2 frying pans as well. And then I bought an even bigger frying pan, and then also bought that one as well. This one is amazing because it's basically it's a similar enough shape to the wok that they have, but it's really handy that it's got 2 handles on it, so I can actually like pick it up. And I've got a frying pan that's the same size, so they both share the same lid, which is fantastic because it means I can use the frying pan to make gyozas. And if I do another cooking stream, like depending on how people feel about this, depending on how well this goes, if I do another cooking stream, I will probably end up like prepping some gyozas because I haven't had them in ages. And I've got some skins in the freezer, I just need to actually get something filling. So if anyone is interested in sort of watching me waffle and make those, I'll definitely do that. Need to angle that way. There we go. Have an induction hob that puts silicone sheet top to protect the ceramic. Oh, that's a good idea actually. Yeah, because it's like it doesn't actually. It's not the hob that conducts the heat. It's sort of like just the string pan, isn't it? So. That's probably actually a really good idea as well, because the only thing that I will complain about with these is that the pans slide a lot. And it's so shiny, there isn't anything for them to stick to. And I have had it a couple of times where I've sort of even just been in the kitchen and like put on a pan of spaghetti or something, turn around and it's like about to slide off the edge of the hob. So yeah, that was a fear I never knew I had. Okay, so filled all of those. So how is everyone doing today? Hope you are all doing well. Emma, hey, welcome in. How are you doing? Packaging is rather rude to suggest 6 people. I mean, yeah, in fairness. Like those poke pans to throw everything in it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are really good pans so far. I mean, obviously they are fairly new, a few months old, so you know how well they'll last, I suppose, is to be determined. I need to start paying attention to that. So dissolved. Well, I think that is dissolved. So we're gonna put. Calm down. As you can tell, I've got some things prepped. I forgot about the rest of it. So we are gonna do, I would say, half a teaspoon of the vanilla paste. Very, very strong. Yes. Vanilla is nice, don't get me wrong. This is meant to be a coconut ice cream. So I want it to actually taste like coconut. Okay. Stir. And it's slightly off the side. Yeah, also, if anyone has any suggestions of anything that they would like to see me try and cook, I can try and give it a go. I'm not going to be doing anything super fancy or expensive, but I can at least try a few things. I've also got loads of recipe books that I might try and get out and have a look through. I've already forgotten how much corn flour, 1.5 tablespoons. Okay. Pre-portioned coconut milk that we left out. Let's throw those in the sink because I've just covered my arm in vanilla. Slurry. And then this will just thicken up the ice cream. More than happy to see you doing a cooking stream. It's just nice to see you streaming again. Aw, thanks, Ollie. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous before I hit go live, but I was like, well, you know, I'm up, I'm about. Not gonna lie, I was recording video until about 4 o'clock this morning. Went to bed and then woke up at 8. So I am running on fumes and energy drinks. It's good. Oh, Hoof! Gifting that sub to B. Very kind of you. Feeling best describes me at the moment. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, lad. Doing good here. Update my graphics card for a new one, and it's all working well. Oh, amazing! Oh, you're currently at Mama Beeves, but I hope Mama Beeves is doing. that simmering. We've got this. Flour is mixed in because obviously flour, you can't mix it in hot. It has to be cold. Put that in here, it's all going to clump together, but it's not going to taste nice. I do have a little milk frother, like a little coffee whisk thing, so I might actually give it a quick that. There we go. Don't need the glass. I'll set that to one side for now. Just trying to tidy as I go. Put things back. You're doing alright. It definitely smells coconutty, so that is good. The one thing I was actually going to do as well was toast off some coconut, but I can do that later. So I'm gonna put some potatoes. So the only prep that I did ahead of time was literally wash all the veg, which is why it's all laid out in the tea towel. Washed all of that, and I cut the swede in half. And the only reason why I did that is because usually I struggle with swedes. I find that they are really, really hard. Aldi didn't have any of like the half ones, they only had the full swedes. And I was like, well, if I'm going to, injure myself trying to cut that in half, I'd rather do that off camera. So, yeah, I cut that in half last night. And it seems okay actually. It doesn't seem too bad. So I think we're all good. If I've spilled something on the bin something like. I may not get through everything today, and again it also depends on how long the camera lasts. I do have 3 batteries, obviously. Now I've just put the other one on to charge, and there is one that was already charged, so we'll see how long it lasts. But I don't want to promise too much. So I'm going to make these into thin fries, and actually I'm going to see if I can point the camera down a bit more. So you won't be able to see my face, but you'll at least be able to see what I'm doing. Sorry. Very roughly very roughly chop these, and I'm just going to throw them in the tub. Quite a lot of sweet potato to get through. Don't want live on Twitch, Robin A. Yeah, no, definitely don't want that. So, like, I'll do the bit that I'm less confident with, and the bit that requires a bit more concentration off camera. And then hopefully I won't have any problems. It's going to be great. Letting that sort of rolling boil. Do its thing. while I do some other prep. I may not get to the burgers today. If I don't, that's fine. I just mostly wanted to at least get stuff chopped and like roasted off slightly and frozen. That's the main thing. If I get the burgers done today, it'll be a bonus. But having said that, I could always try grating the carrots and then freezing it, and sort of doing a bit of an experiment and seeing how that works. Because I bought, it's like a sort of wonky, what do you call it, like wonky veg pack from Aldi, like 70p for like a kilo of carrots or something. It's like, I know that I definitely will get some prep to put in the freezer, so it sounded like a good deal. Also, I don't necessarily want this stuff as like roasted veg. Sweet potato, no, not the sweet potato. The swede is there because I'm gonna chop up some of the stuff to make like a I guess like pre-cut vegetable soup. I've done like a spiced root veg soup before, so that's also what I'm going to use some of the carrots and parsnips for. So, sort of in some of these plastic bags, I'm going to put them in there after I've roasted them. Sort of just blitz them up with a bit of cream or something. That'll also work really well because I've got coconut milk, so use the rest of the last can of coconut milk. It didn't really explain how much it needs to thicken. Obviously I know it will thicken as it cooks. I'll leave it on for a little bit longer. You need a chainsaw for those. Yeah, they are a little bit tough, these ones. Good setup. What are you making? That is a good question, Emma. I realise that you sort of come in after I've explained. So I am currently prepping some sweet potatoes to make some sort of like sweet potato fries. They've sort of gotten a bit more like chips actually. They are quite chunky. So I'm making some sweet potato chips. I've got on the stove, which you can't actually see now. Currently we've got cooking on the stove, like boiling away, is some coconut ice cream base. We're going to make some coconut ice cream later. And then sort of on a tea towel that's now out of view, I've got some carrots, some parsnips and half a swede. And I'm going to chop those down. Some of them I'm going to marinate in some like honey and oil and salt and pepper and stuff. And then I'm going to like roast them. And then they're going to go in the freezer. So I've got some like quick honey roast veg for roast dinners and stuff. And then some of the carrots I'm going to try grating down to make some veggie burgers. And then finally, if there's anything remaining, I'm going to chop it up roughly. Again, roast it off. I think that's the second battery on. That lasted like 20 minutes. Did it? No, I think it lasted about half an hour. Okay. Just double check. Just turn off. I'm not sure if it just turned off. so the other battery might not have died. Okay. I'm not seeing a little thing on here that actually tells me... Oh no, the battery's full. Oh, okay. So I don't know whether that was just whether it switched off on its own then. I may not have needed to charge the battery. That's fine, we'll sort that out. I forgot what I was saying now. Done. So we're going to turn that off. I'm going to leave it on the residual heat for a little bit. Yeah, so we've got sweet potato fries, we've got honey roast veg, gonna grate some carrot if there's any left for veggie like bean burgers, and then finally we're going to rough chop some of the leftover parsnips, the half a swede, and some of the carrots if there is any left, and I do have a few more carrots in the fridge. We're gonna rough chop those, throw them in a roasting tray, and then we're going to roast those off and portion them up and basically use that as like a sort of ready prepped base for a root veg soup. So that's all stuff that's going to go in the freezer. I may or may not leave the soup stuff out, like put it in the fridge, leave it out, and then make the soup and then freeze it. But we'll see. We'll see how lazy I'm feeling this week, because it is Thursday already. And I've got stuff I'm already planning on doing. I've got videos to edit. Blah blah blah. There's a lot of stuff going on, so don't do things by halves. So these are going to go in the freezer as is, because sweet potato fries don't take that long to cook. See, I've got an air fryer, so they take even less time. There wouldn't be any point in me par cooking. Don't even bother like boiling them, because I don't find sweet potato that it makes much of a difference. I already find them quite soft. I'm also not bothered about them going crispy, which is why I'm making them myself, because I've never found even the shop ones to go crispy. And as I said earlier, I object to paying like £3 for a bag of essentially sliced sweet potato with a little bit of flour on it. So at least then, I can make sure these are all gluten free, make sure that, you know, I know what I'm putting in. And it cost way less to buy 3 of these big sweet potatoes than it did a full bag. So, yeah, we are being a little bit more cost effective. Technical teething issues, no more for next time. Yeah, exactly. I think there might actually be a setting on the camera that makes it not turn off. And I think I might have accidentally turned that off at some point, so that's why, because I have a feeling it was one of the things that I actually went through when I set it up initially, and then I fiddled around with the settings and I've forgotten what most of them do. So yeah, we'll sort that out next time, it's fine. Right, so we're going to put that one aside. What I'm going to do, we've got these really nice trays. I initially bought these for like lap trays for like eating on the sofa, and then I ended up getting a dining table, so I haven't actually, to be fair, I'm a bit of a sad sap and I tend to eat at my desk anyway. So I use neither the dining table nor the trays. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to give that a quick spray off, just because it has been sitting behind the microwave for a little while, so I just want to make sure it's not dusty. Then I'm going to spread the fries out on there so I can see how many I've got. Then I'll set that to one side and I'll start on the other side. That'd be a really nice one. That's casualty of war. I did clean my bed before I set everything. I made sure to do a deep clean of the kitchen before after cheese. It's not even a chip, that's a flipping wedge at that point. Yeah, I made sure to do a deep clean of the kitchen before I set up the stream. Well, I don't imagine that there's really going to be many more people than me eating any of this stuff. I just like to make sure that it at least looks nice. While I'm streaming. I think that is big enough. Definitely think it was on there for long enough. So we're going to see how that goes. I don't really know how thick it was supposed to be, and obviously we are going to it is going to cool down, and we are then going to freeze it. Just freaked me out for a second because the fan stopped blowing on that and I thought something had broken. So turn the hob off so the hob isn't doing the extraction. So we've set that to one side. Take the whisk out, I'm going to cover it up and then we're going to set it to one side. Ooh, that was a noise. Oh, thank you, Oggy. I am glad that one actually makes noise because I do definitely need to hydrate. It is very warm in here. Obviously, I'm standing in front of the oven, which is on because I turned it on and I have music. That's fine. Oh. Massive roll of clean. And in fairness, I need to get a different clean gun because it sucks. I want to get the scissors. Box of cling film was supposed to have like a little slicey thing in it. No idea where it was. Didn't come with the box. So I was real chef by pressing it in there so that it stops base from falling in. I am too lazy, I cannot be bothered, and also it's red hot and I'm going to burn my fingers, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look after you. Yes, I appreciate that. I pre-prepared. I have a bottle of squash. I've got a bottle of squash there, and I've also got an energy drink that I'm going to try not to knock. So I've got both of those. Plenty of hydration. We're just gonna that on the well. I'll sort of let these dry out a little bit, and then I'll figure out a way to get them into the fridge. So one thing I didn't actually do is space to fit in it. Ideally, I want to lay these all flat, freeze them up, and then I can bag them, because then that just stops them from freezing and sticking together. But worst comes to the worst, if I let them dry up a little bit first, obviously there'll be less moisture on the surface to stick to. cover my bases. I also really need a sharpener. Even with the one that this one comes with, it's not very effort to chop the. So what's everyone up to today? Hope Thursday is well. Have you got any plans for today or for over the weekend? Anything exciting that's going on? So last one, and then we don't have to worry about making for a while. I prefer them quite small, because I feel like you get more out. Like it feels like more on a plate, even if you end up with the same amount. It just feels like more looking at like a slightly bigger pile of sort of shorter fries. Also got quite a lot out of this, out of just 3. Okay. For a while. Maybe one side. Not gonna lie, kind of glad that the camera isn't on me right now because I'm sweating so much in here. You'll be able to see it as soon as I move the camera back up, but it's so hot. Probably a little bit mad doing this today, but like, well, sort of a now or never thing. Like I feel like I've got the energy stream. I didn't want to put myself out of it, so it's like just gonna do it, deal with the heat. There we go. And these will tray. Get some veg. Got an appointment later, then work in the evening. I hope work goes well. Reckon any of this will keep till Saturday. Oh, it will. Yeah, it definitely will. So pretty much everything that I'm doing today anyway is going in the freezer. So I could definitely bring some stuff over. If you like coconut, I could definitely try and bring some of the ice cream. We might have to put it back in the freezer for a little bit, but you know, it's not gonna be too bad. Also, hi Holly, welcome in. Hello. Welcome. I hope I see. Oh, Holly's not here. Anyone? Pretend that you didn't see her. Hope stuff in the office is going well today. Feels chilly. Oh, that must be nice. Lord. And Hoof, raining. Oh. Okay, so we're just gonna pull that back up for a little bit. There we go. Just so I can see everybody. Hi. Tuck down. Hopefully at some point I can figure things out, get a second camera set up. making do today because I had one USB extension lead, which is what the DSLR is plugged into. But as I said earlier, because everything is attached to the computer that is in the other room, I have to run all the cables like round the wall and into here, and there isn't actually enough cables. So I will look at getting some more cables in time, but I just thought I would sort of test things out, see how it goes. And if it's successful, if it works as an idea, definitely do these. And if it worked out terrible and I end up, you know, upsetting everybody and no one comes back, then I won't spend money on cables on. It's all part of my plan. Right. Put this back in the fridge. Vanilla paste needs to stay cold. Got our massive tray of sweet potato fries. I'll leave those on the table. And then, hey Sonia, welcome in. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Oh, thanks Sonia. That's really nice. It's really nice of you to say. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I sort of think it's a little bit chaotic, but yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. So hopefully, fun to watch. So grab the Swede. I think what I'm going to do next is get the veg to start for the roasting. There are some flies in here because the teeny tiny little, I don't know what they're actually called, but I call them like soil flies because I was growing some stuff on the windowsill and apparently they were all inside the soil, so they're everywhere at the moment and I'm currently trying to get rid of them, but it means they are just hanging around because they lovely food. So I am covering everything, making sure that it's fly-free. But if you just see me waving around like a maniac, that will be. So we're just going to wash. I only have the one cube, so cleaned between. Got the knife. Sort of keep the space clean. I might need the you know, for them. Bowl back. Fortunately, as you can see from the bowl is on its last legs. Turns out, didn't realise that was all the way through the bowl. I don't actually know what's happened to it. But yeah, I must have dropped something in it and it's just cracked all the way through the bottom of the bowl. Discovered that when I was scraping the sugar off the bottom of it and the coconut milk. So it's alright for dry stuff, so I'm at least going to place the veg in there once I've like prepped it. I'll just move the camera back down so you can see what I'm doing. The camera is also very warm. You fell on it. Ah, that was rude. It's fine. I do need to get some more bowls in fairness. I've literally got 2, which, considering I do a lot of baking, definitely. Eggs and stuff taste more. So some of these parsnips are quite, well, actually I think some of the parsnips are slightly older, so some of them are a little bit squidgy. They're still alright, they're just, I wouldn't serve these to Gordon Ramsay, okay? But I've topped and tailed them, marinated them in a bit of like honey and stuff, frozen them. I know this. Like, a tiny bit squidgy at the top. But to be fair, they're gonna go squidgy in the freezer anyway. Kind of helps them cook, so fly over to my store and use the employees discount. I mean, hey, I'm definitely wouldn't say no to discounts. How are you doing? Lovely to see everyone, Venice. I've been away from streaming way too long. Definitely to get back into some sort of when I start for now, I don't know whether it will be every week at the moment, how I feel like. But I think I'll try and do Thursdays. Initially I was sort of looking like Tuesdays and Thursdays. I might just sort of play it by ear for Tuesday. Tuesday morning is when I go to the gym. And I'm usually there for an hour. By the time I come back, sort of when the fatigue sets in, I start feeling a little bit bleh. Going on Thursdays as a streaming day is probably not a bad idea, because it'll sort of be a day to recover. Just sort of try for one day a week, build it up from there. I think for what's sort of not helped is, trying to immediately go from like no streams at all to like 3 a week, however many, and then it just doesn't work out. So rather than trying to go absolutely mad with it, I'm just gonna sort of start off with one. While I'm doing more, I'll try and work from there. I will say as well, this is my least favourite part of any kind of cooking. Is the peel. I used to work in a restaurant, and this was my job in the restaurant was doing all the potatoes, carrots. Yeah, so the one that I hate most, like potatoes. Or just any like root. They're just so fiddly. When I cook them now, I don't even bother peeling them. I just give them a rinse off. That's just as good. In bed with puppers. Oh, I saw where's your day off. Well, that sounds like a good way to spend a day off. I've got something on the camera flashing at. Don't know what that means. Because the camera's battery's fine. This is streaming. Oh no, life gets in the way. Gets you back. Yeah, exactly. Back now. That's the main thing. Okay. Got those done. Actually, I've put those. Need to get a tray out. I've made the mistake of not getting that out ahead of time because I reorganised the whole cupboard the other day. My procrastination for getting prepped for streaming was I rearranged the entire Tupperware / bakeware cupboard. As you've probably just heard, that didn't go very well. Everything's just fallen over, so it's fine. I need to figure out a better system. These ones in a smaller tray. Just to be. Yeah, no, I'll put these in the smaller tray. Sad. They're still perfectly, like, not at their best. But I do like sort of buying like the wonky veg and all of that stuff. It just makes it a little. This one's actually a cake too. That's why it's not very. Fine. These sort of offcuts are going to be wasted as soup. It's the nicest bit for the roast. Then I'll throw the rest in for the soup. Got all of those. Put those in there. The soup as well. The roast. Music stopped, or whether it's just gone really quiet. Should be on a 9-hour playlist. Definitely not got to the end of it. So I guess this is a good question for everyone today. What has everybody had today for lunch, or what are you planning? I suppose dinner, depending on where you're in. What are food plans for today? I have jacket potato, at about 11. I wanted to have something before I started streaming. I knew that I was only gonna feel hungry once I started. Yeah. Still breakfast time. Okay. Breakfast / lunch was jacket potato. Sure what I'm gonna have for dinner, but I did pick up some reduced prawns. I might do like a simple pasta or something quick. Depends on how energetic I'm feeling. This is from the wonky veg stuff. Aldi. Other supermarkets are available. Huge. I don't know how good these are. I'll probably try. But they seem decent. Yeah. Carrots. Like, they taste like carrots that I would get. They actually have what I would consider really nice. Because usually they're alright, but they taste plain. That music has definitely stopped, hasn't it? Just gonna go check it. I'll be back in a sec. That was weird. Paused itself. I got to the end of the song and just stopped. I have no idea why, because I don't think I've pressed anything. All of the directions, like all of the controls, are like obviously on the computer. Can actually, I think, pause stuff from here, but thank you for hydrate. Carrots. I think we've got roughly an even amount of carrots versus parsnips. I think when I freeze these up, I'm probably not actually going to separate now. Just because I'm lazy and I usually end up having them both anyway together. So thank you. It's a very lovely name for an energy drink. My friend Kay got me onto these. And it makes me feel better than constantly chugging monsters because where did you get that? I thought they were banned. Oh, I mean, I hope they're not. I got this one from Home Bargains. They're like 2 for £1. Used to get those years ago in sixth form. Yeah, they Home Bargains is the only place that I've actually found them. Oh, Sorted Food have done a video on them. Interesting. I'm gonna have to see if I can find that now. See what their opinion is. Veggie hot dog carrots. You know, I think I have actually seen about those. Yeah, I don't know what I would make of them, if I'm honest, because to me, I see so many of those things like, oh yeah, it tastes. And I saw one, actually it was also Sorted Food, they were showing off like carrot bacon. And oh yeah, it tastes like just like bacon. I'm like, does it though? It's a carrot, so it's gonna taste like a carrot. And yeah, they were like, that's alright. Still tastes like a carrot though. Olive oil, got honey, salt, pepper. Then just mixed herbs. So I just make these like really simple. So salt, pepper, mixed herbs, oil, honey, boom. Don't need anything too fancy. Don't need anything too fancy, and it just means that they go with anything. It makes it still flavourful, but like new. Quite a few veggies. Technically, it's a dessert spoon. It's not a tablespoon. You guys wanna? I'm not really. Well, besides for the burgers, I'd follow a recipe. The ice cream, I'm following a recipe because I've made that before. Everything else, though. No recipe, just completely by eye. Oh, really lost it. No exact measurements. So this is the honey I use. This is actually a local one. I don't know if that's actually gonna. Don't know how well you can see that one, but this is my favourite one, especially for roasting with the veg. Spanish blackberry honey. It's really not cheap. Well worth it. Also, just for anyone that likes to cook, if you coat the spoon, we're using honey, if you coat the spoon in oil and then dip it in the honey, it slicks straight off. I discovered that as a method for getting it's so helpful. Quite a pain sometimes to spoon and stuff. Coat the spoon. Works for syrups in general. herbs. Just where I'm making the marinade. I will also use like ground pepper. I just like to use the peppercorns. Just sort of give it a bit of extra crunch as well. I originally just bought like regular black peppercorn. I didn't have any, so they substituted it on my delivery. And I actually quite like the mixed ones. I don't really know if it makes much of a difference. I like to pretend. Go. Don't trust me. I've done that before where I don't feel like I've put in all that much salt and then it's really, really salty. So, we've got our nice mixture. It looks lovely. Kind of looks like really watery food. It's fine. Drizzle that over the top. Just all the mixed herbs that are clumped together in the honey. Try not to throw these everywhere. So you'll see how well they actually go. Oops. Probably also not the best top to be working in here, but it's so warm. I really didn't want to wear a t-shirt. I'm not going to fully cook these in the oven. I'm literally just going to give them maybe. Usually when I make roast carrots and parsnips, I will roast them for about an hour. Carrots actually I usually do a little bit longer. I'll put the carrots in for like maybe 20 minutes first. Then put the parsnips in afterwards, but because I'm roasting these all together, I'm not really that bothered with separating them up. So it's all just going to go as is. Put this in the oven, which has been eating up my legs since the beginning of stream. Get that away. Didn't have to wash because they're sticky. Couldn't imagine. Eh? Okay, what do we got left? Have some. Clear this down. Reset the kitchen. Yeah. Tiny flies. Annoying. We're going to fetch. only reason why I haven't like cleaned off the chopping board or anything like that is because all of the veg that I'm doing today is going together anyway. If I was doing like different things, I would obviously be actually doing all the same vegetables. The only reason why I'm being a little less, why I'm slacking a little with these cleanliness. If I was doing different dishes, I would change the flavor and stuff. But because it's all root veg and they're all going into the same. Trying to think of things that I could do on streams. Preferably stuff that sort of doesn't take too much concentration. I quite like doing this. Because besides sort of chopping stuff, there isn't really a lot I can mess up. That was here earlier, considering also doing cookies. Very excited to watch. I'm sort of chatting about it and saying, obviously, it's one of those things where you do kind of need to be concentrating on stuff. So sort of coming up with foods that you can still, like stuff that you can still do and enjoy. Also stuff that you're not risking your safety by looking at chatting to people or whatever. But you know, also it's still entertaining. I know that obviously me peeling vegetables is probably not massively entertaining for everybody. This was sort of more as it was a test stream, seeing how it goes, seeing how it works. So I sort of wanted purposely that I can, you know, be watching chat and checking on the tech stuff and, you know, things that I can put down. If I'm, not that I've ever made a souffle, but you know, if I was making something like a souffle and this was the test stream, first of all, that would be an impressive thing to do as a test stream, and even I'm not that extra. But also, you know, if I was doing something that was like really complicated and required a lot of attention, it would probably mean things like the camera turning off. I wouldn't notice. I wouldn't be able to check, you know, stop and stuff. So physically wouldn't be able to stop what I was doing to go check those things. So like that was my sort of thought on doing this, doing casual prep work. So I'm still being productive, getting stuff done, but it also means that I can still be present with you guys and obviously make sure if there are any technical glitches that I can also just sort of put down and check on them. Hopefully you've checked what I actually put the veg in. It's about 1/2. Gonna start prepping the stuff for the soup now. Don't think. Just looking at how much sweet I've got. Past it. I don't think I'm gonna have enough carrot to do the burgers today, but that's fine. Like I say, those are a bit of a last minute thought. Just done, that's cool. But if not, I can do those another day. Gives me something to actually come back and do. So. See if I can find something to put this ice cream mixture in. Well, that cupboard looked nice and neat for all of about 5 seconds, but now I've actually like taken any of the stuff out of it. It looks like an absolute wreck. So I need to organise the Tupperware cupboard a little bit better. This crispy base in the foundation, that's cool. They want to put it in there straight away because obviously it'll just eat. Actually thick enough, that's not bad. So that is our ice cream base going into the fridge. Soak myself at the same time. I would say that's about the consistency of a syrup. It's fine. So that should hopefully once it's chilled it'll be a bit thicker, and then obviously definitely frozen, so that's fine. Haven't had oven roast veg in ages. Used to do one courgette, tomato, peppers, onions, parsnip. Ooh, that does sound nice. Yeah, I do love some oven roast veg, especially like I say, with the honey and stuff. That is my favourite way of roasting vegetables. I just love veg in general, to be fair. Souffled wouldn't that be horrible? Yeah, you got a good point. It did take me a second. Souffled. Yeah, no, that is a fair point. So we're just chop this up, rough chunks. Yeah, so we'll just marinate it in a bit of oil and salt and pepper. I'm not gonna add anything else to this one. Hello. Wakey wakey. Okay. Hopefully that is working. Yeah, so unlike with the honey roast stuff, I'm not going to be back. Excellent. Not going to add anything else to these other than just salt and pepper and a bit of oil when I roast these, because these are going to be in the soup. So I'm going to throw loads of spices and stuff in anyway. That's fine. I'm also going to use the rest of the coconut milk for this. So it's also free. Soup. Great. So this one, entirely veggie. Don't have a recipe for this. I'm literally making it up as I go along. So I would, if any of you are watching me make this stuff and you're really interested, like, feel free to give me a message and I'll see if I've got the recipe, I'll send you the recipe. But if feel free to sort of just scribble down stuff as you see me making things. I'm not weighing anything, I'm not measuring anything. I've made this soup before and it really is just like a potluck. So I'm going to roast these off. I'm also going to chop a couple of onions. One onion. Lots of sweet. This one is going to be very sweet heavy. That's fine. But yeah, usually just a potluck of whatever I've left. Put some spice in it, like do just a little bit of like chili. Not a lot to like heat it, but enough that it sort of just gives it a little bit. Not enough to make it super spicy, but enough to sort of give it. This one is probably a little more soup, but it's the veg that I've got. Veg that I am using. Maybe the one thing that I can never seem to find is turnips. I don't know what it is. They seem to be really hard to find, and yet I would kind of consider that like a staple root veg. Cannot find any shops that sell it. At least if they do, they're always out of stock when I. Mostly a carrot and sweet. Yeah, usually I would do like carrots, parsnips, swede and turnips, so like get a full like root veg vibe going through it. But yeah, I couldn't find any, so we're just gonna go with parsnip, carrot, and then obviously things like smaller. I know the proper chef way is like through it. I actually find that if they're super fresh, that they don't At least with red onions anyway. White onions are still a little bit hit, but I find red onions a lot kinder in my mouth. And also it really helps if they're super fresh. Like the older they are, the more potent they seem to get. So yeah, if you're always struggling with horrible side effects that you get from onions, I would recommend only getting them when you're going to use them, getting a smaller amount, and they're super fresh. That usually. I also just prefer red onions in general. People salads and things like that. I just I use these in it. Saves a bit of money and obviously saves wastage if I'm buying one thing for multiple rather than like buying a bunch of white onions for something and a bunch of red onions. I don't eat. I never buy these for salads. The reason why I'm not cutting these too small is because the soup's gonna get blended anyway when I make it, so worry about that is all the veg for our soup. As you can see, quite a lot. Most of that is sweet. It's gonna be a very sweet heavy soup, so hopefully that'll be fine. Fairness, it's mostly me that's eating it anyway, so I don't think anyone's gonna complain. Salt and pepper were wrapping cooks. Okay, so that we have accidentally squeezed the cling film that was on top. Ice cream base, and because it's all condensated, it was soggy. Sog cake. That was lovely. Right, we'll quickly get the veg out of the oven. Base a little bit. Towards the open up the door. Just to make sure that it's sticking to the tray, but also make sure that it's brown. So put these in half past. It's been about 15 minutes. Say the 15. Quite a lot of liquid coming out. Give those another 15. Then hey, hello. There isn't really anything else to look at. Chopping board. I have used all of my carrots. So probably not going to do the burgers. Got leave the kidney beans over there. I'm trying to think of actually anything else I can do. I was expecting this to take much longer. And I've done all of that stuff in about 2 hours. And that's sort of even with me pottering around. I feel like when I'm not streaming it usually takes me way longer than that, so I'm glad. Chance to chat with you guys, I suppose, which is nice. Gonna wait until the veg comes out of the oven, and I'll put this slot in. Reason being, I only have one roasting dish. I have lots and lots of baking assortments. I have like one baking sheet and one roasting pan, so there isn't actually anywhere this can go in the oven right now because there isn't anything to... I was originally going to try and put it in that little square dish, but obviously as you can see, that's not going to fit. So I wait till that comes out and then I'll throw it all in that roasting pan. So I'll still get a little bit of the seasoning off of the roasting tin. So I'll have a little bit of that sort of honey, which will be fine because it'll also work to have a little bit. I can also see that the battery is now flashing, so that is actually about to go. So as I'm not doing anything right now, I'm going to change that so the camera will go off in a second. Camera will go off, so actually I'll just... Lovely. Flash it again, yeah. That battery is red hot. Okay, so assuming that the other one didn't actually go out immediately like I initially thought, we got about we got an hour and a half at least an hour and a half out of that one battery. So assuming that all of them are similar, looking very startled. It's because I'm looking up at the camera, because the camera is like so much higher than me, and also for some reason it's got like a face tracking thing, so it keeps like blinking on my eyes. It's really weird. I'm sort of just getting hypnotized by the camera. Yeah, so I think we've got about an hour and a half out of that one battery. Like I say, there's two like sat in the other room on charge. So I'm just rotating them out. So I would reckon we could probably get at least 3 hours. Yeah, about 3 hours, 4 hours maybe. And obviously, depending on how long the batteries actually take to charge, I might just be able to sort of perpetually keep charging them, putting them in. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. Pretty decent for times. So hopefully that will work out. Still a frozen image. Oh, hang on. I might need to refresh the thing. Thank you for telling me. That was very unfortunate face for it to stay zoomed in on. Apologies. That was as well because I'd put it on the BRB screen, so obviously I've got like right up into the camera as well. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully you should be able to see everything now. Just means I'll need to double check that in future. Like I say, because the computer is obviously, I'm pointing at the camera, but it's behind the camera technically. Cause in the other room, it's behind this wall. So I've got to run the cables all the way out and around to the back of the computer. And obviously the monitors are also in there, so I can see the chat. I've got my phone loaded up as like a little mobile stream deck. And I can see at least what the camera's recording, because it's got a little panel on the top of it. But other than that, I can't see the stream at all. So I have no way of knowing if it's working and if it's looking okay. So yeah, if there is any point where it looks a little bit funny, feel free to just give me a bit of a nudge, because yeah, I I can't actually see what you guys are seeing. I can only see it from my end. High-tech setup, impressive. You've been able to put it all together, make this work. Yeah, it's a bit of a cobble together. Really helpful that I sort of like amalgamated so many different bits of tech. It does mean that if I'm using the computer, minus the camera itself, because I've got a webcam. Like besides that, I then have to run everything back in there. So the mic arm needs to be put back, and like basically everything needs resetting to then use the computer. So that's fine. It doesn't take too much. But I've got the Stream Deck for the actual computer as well. But again, because I need longer cables for everything. Cable management in here, we're just pretending that is totally fine. Yeah, well, I've got like one super long USB extension cable, which is how I'm running the camera to the computer. But annoyingly, it doesn't. I can't run the power cables, so I've literally got like the camera is the only thing that can actually attach to the computer. I'm limited on where I can set things. The camera can move around a little bit more. Obviously, there'd be cables on the floor and stuff, but yeah, I think it works for now. It's definitely all right. Don't go anywhere. What did you move? Screen needs to be BRB screen grab. Oh my god, I hate that. I put a little bit of work into the BRB screen, and only because I literally gathered loads of photos that I'd taken of foods that I've already made, put them into like a little slideshow. So I think you guys can still hear me on here, but you'll be able to see if I press the BRB screen that I've got like a few lights. I'll just put it on for a sec, just so you can see it, because I don't know if I'll actually do a BRB one on at the moment. And then go back on there. So I think that should have worked for a couple. But yeah, I've just put them on there because, like, if I do a BRB, then at least it feels still like it's like in the theme of food. Sort of see all the other things, and obviously take pictures of stuff that I've done on here. So we'll sort of add more pictures as we go along, hopefully. I head out for an appointment. I could hang. No worries, Emma. Hope the appointment goes well. Sorry, hope the appointment goes well. And yeah, it was really lovely to see you in here to hang out. So hopefully again. Is that Terry Lamagi? Lemonji? I don't know who that is, lad. But maybe. Hey Andy, welcome in. Hello, hello. Been looking, looks like colourful pot of veggies. Yeah, so this is going to be a soup base. Making root veg soup. Got Swedes. Just half of one. Swede, carrot, parsnips, onion. Probably all the veg I'm gonna. Yeah, got all of that in there. Got some veg still roasting. I'll give that a couple more minutes and then I'll take that out. Don't ask me where I'm actually going to place any of that because I've got no idea. I might just have to repurpose a frying pan, throw it all in there, and then put this lot to that one so I can put all of this stuff in the roasting dish. Oh, I see. How did I not realise it was Terry? Yeah, exactly. I definitely do. I need a Terry of my own. Someone to just yell from behind the cameras. Sounds. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely need a cameraman. Maybe one day if this takes off with my chaotic cooking streams, maybe I can afford to hire a cameraman, or buy a monitor that can sit in here because I do have a third monitor. This is the annoying thing. I have a third monitor. It's tiny. It's crap. But it would work fine in here because it's I'm not sure how big it is, but I found it for like £8 in a charity shop. It does the job. Unfortunately, I am struggling to actually find a cable that will work with it because it's so old. It's a VGA cable. Problem is, the cover on the back of the monitor is so narrow, you can't fit a VGA cable in it. The VGA cable I think that it has is a little bit dodgy, and obviously I don't have an adapter because the computer is so new. It only has the latest, whatever it is you want to call it. It's only got those, so I need to find a converter for the VGA cable. But basically what it means is I need to find something so specific because it will only fit a certain width of the actual plug into the back of it. Annoyingly, I bought a cable that is 5 meters long, and so that I could have a monitor in. And because the plug is just maybe about 5mm too long, it doesn't fit in the back. Can't actually get it to connect. So that was really, really annoying. So yeah, I need to find a workaround for that one, but hopefully at some point it does mean that I will eventually have a monitor in here, so I won't have to keep running backwards and forwards to change anything on the computer. But I'll still need all the other little screens here and there, but yeah, for now, for the test setup, seems to be working alright. The only things that I would struggle with is if the phone battery dies or the tablet does. And the tablet actually is holding remarkably strong, considering that I have not been able to use it for quite some time because it's so slow. So yeah, I'm gonna get the veg out of the oven now. And I think actually, because I did leave this out originally for the burgers. I'm actually gonna do is dump the carrots and parsnips into there, And then I'm going to use the roasting tray, that stuff. Bear with while I sort of put things away a little bit. I found these in the market because I want to make gyozas at some point, but these these are the most ridiculously long chopsticks ever. And the reason I got these is because the amount of times that I will try and pick up the gyozas in the pan and they will start spitting. I no longer have to worry because I'm like half a metre away from the actual pan with these. But it does mean they have to fit very specifically into this drawer because they're too bloody long. Ah. So yeah, highly recommend. Have that up in the pretty nice. Extra long chopstick. Oh well. Okay, so all of the liquid seems to have sort of out of that now. This is perfect. And all of this. Hold it up so you can see all of our carrots, parsnips. Gonna go in there. That's all nice, covered in honey, covered in herbs, salt, pepper, all of that good stuff. I'm gonna throw in this base. Thinking I might actually up that Swede quite a lot bigger than the rest of. Over here I'm going to put the tea. Put the flies away. I see, it's a good job that I've worked in a kitchen and I have no feeling in my hands, because that was in the oven and I've literally just touched it with my bare fingers. Don't try that at home. Do not recommend. I would definitely never pick it out of the oven with it. I have done that before. I think we probably all have. Guys, I can't remember. Getting to the tea time. Up down, roughly the same size. Should have roughly the same time. If I have any like more burnt bits, it's fine. Nice a little bit. Obviously, I don't want charcoal, but if it's got a bit of a darker colour, it's not going to be well. Worst comes to worst, I can either fish it out, or it's going to be blended anyway, so it probably won't much. So. I think actually I did say earlier that I wasn't going to put together like things in with this. I think I will put some like cumin in it, just so it can all sort of cook through edge. That's typically what I spice this one with anyway. Bit of cumin, bit of cayenne. A little bit of cinnamon, a bit of nutmeg. this one is obviously, besides the cayenne, this is typically what I put in this. So it's like it's not it's flavored spices rather than like cayenne obviously does give flavor, but for the most part it is, because it is supposed to be a warming it is supposed to be a warming soup. Spicy. So vegetarians want something just all heat and nothing else. Yeah, I'll put in just a little bit as well of garam masala. These are basically all of the spices that I have pretty much. The only other thing I have over there is like cardamom and like tandoori spices, but those are very specific spices. Gotta go. That's my stream to do. Have a lovely. Maybe catch you later. No worries, Sona. Hope you have a good one. And thank you for joining. It was lovely to chat to you. And hopefully, if I do another one of these, I will see you again soon. Like it's spicy. Yeah, definitely different from seasoning hot and actually grab the fire hose. Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I do love heat when it comes to food, but with this one it's more, I like the this is sort of more aimed at like comforting, so it's gonna be aimed at being sort of, you know, nice, comforting, slightly gay, especially sort of more of an autumn. Fairness, probably when I'm actually going to get this out of the freezer. And I'm not putting in a lot of spices now, just because I can later when like before I blitz it, I can put more in. I'd rather sort of give it a little bit of spice to cook with, sort of add spice. I'm sort of just putting in like maybe a quarter spoon of stuff, about half a teaspoon of cumin. The one thing that I'm not very good at is knowing ratios of like spices and seasonings and stuff. I've never been very good when I'm sort of making up, knowing how much. So I always like to sort of underestimate how much to actually use, and then it means that I don't end up going this one is a lot easier. Once it's come out of the oven, and again as well, there'll sort of be like a little bit of sweetness from it. I'm gonna put a little bit. That, but not a lot. this little spoon. I don't actually even know where it came from. I think it was like a little sample ice cream. It is tiny compared to a regular sized teaspoon. So I could eat half of that. And again, I could always add in more after it's come out. I've added oil. Just use sunflower for this one. Just use olive oil for the roast veg. The only reason why I used it for that and not this, because in this you've got so many other flavours. Those ones are obviously grenaded in. It's a bit more. Yes, I just prefer the olive. With this one, it doesn't matter as much because obviously it's going to be spiced. It's going to be coconut milk. So many other flavours. Having a new oil and different. I know. Smoke points and all of that stuff. I'm lazy when it comes to the time. I will use the first oil that comes to hand. Okay, too much time. I know I should. This is why I'm no longer a professional chef, but this is why I no longer work in the kitchens. For the most part, I'm lazy and I don't care about that stuff. Okay, so that's just gone in. It is 2:15. Yeah, leave that in for probably about 20. So I'll catch up on chat, and then what I'm going to do is I'll do a BRB. I will clean up what I've used. So I'll probably have, and that you guys can sort of go have a bit of a break. Go grab a cup of tea or whatever. And then, yeah, I'll come back, chat for a bit more, get the stuff out of the oven, and then sort of go from there. Don't think the ice cream bake is going to be done anytime soon. I suppose I could have prepped it beforehand so that I could then put it in the ice cream maker, but in fairness, you would probably only be hearing the noise of the ice cream maker. You wouldn't actually really see anything. So there isn't really anything that would be that exciting. At least then you've got to see me make the base. Yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly catch up. How's Balatro going, by the way? I actually played Balatro for like the first time in like 10 days yesterday. First run that I played was on the yellow card, like I think the second stake. Won that. I completely accidentally. Hadn't even realised how far along through the thing that I got. Managed to win that, so I was super happy. Managed to get through yet like stake on there. And then subsequent, all of the other ones were abominations. So I have put Balatro on the back burner. But I only did that for the evening because I was like, well, I'm tired. So yeah, I might play a little bit later. But yeah, Balatro is actually going really well. How are you finding it, Lard? Are you still playing through? Bought spicy patties with more hot than spice. It tastes like McDonald's hot chicken. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's actually like being able to make your own a lot more. Yeah, that is pretty good. I don't know if I've had the McDonald's hot chicken. Is that like, I know over here they're doing one which is like a Frank's hot sauce burger. I'm like, well, I could literally just buy a chicken burger and then put Frank's sauce in the cupboard. So I haven't got that. But yeah, that does sound nice. That is actually something I could make on stream, actually, is wings. I love making buffalo wings now. I hate that the Frank's hot sauce, like the buffalo sauce, comes in like a bottle that big, and I can't find any bigger ones. Because I've already gone through nearly an entire bottle. Just add that to everything. Also, if anybody here, like, this is a meal for me when I'm feeling like really lazy and I don't want to make anything else. Spaghetti hoops, with a bit of Frank's hot sauce in it, and just like with a bit of toast or grilled cheese. It is amazing. You will thank me later. If you like hot sauce, it is great. Especially the buffalo one is. Waitrose used to do a massive bowl of Frank's. Ooh. Okay. I don't know whether there actually is a Waitrose around here. But I might have to see. Finished Yellow Deck, Purple State yesterday. Still going on it. Nice, nice. Or pancakes. Ooh. Haven't made them. Latinos no ratio. We just keep going until our ancestors show us. You know what? I love that. I love that idea. Yeah, that's the, in my opinion, that is the correct way of seasoning. It's like, have I emptied the entire bottle in this? No. Has anyone yelled at me? No. Then I can put more in. Yeah, that definitely works. Also, Waitrose in the town centre. I mean, it might have. I might have just missed it in Venice. I don't know. I think there is a Waitrose somewhere in Jesmond. That's the posh area. Like, Jesmond and Gosforth. So, I would imagine that they have. I think there is definitely one in. Oh, that's fine. I mean, I think most people know roughly where I am anyway. I was gone. Right. Back. Yeah, I think everyone knows roughly where I am. But yeah, there is somewhere in Newcastle though. Yes. Okay. So I thought I would chat. I'm gonna BRB for a few minutes. Just while I do the washing up, get all of that stuff out of the way, because I don't think you can actually see it from there. Move the camera around. You can see all the stuff on the side. There is a bit of a there is a bit of chaos, and most of the stuff I've thrown in the sink, so you won't be able to see much of it. Yeah, I'm gonna put the screen on a BRB, so feel free to, you know, go away, make yourself a snack, because I imagine you're probably hungry looking at this. I'm hungry smelling this, and I've already had food. You know, go make yourself a cup of tea, get comfy, and then we'll be back for a little bit, and then I'll probably, like, after I'm able to turn the oven off finally, because I'm dying in here. That's probably when I'll call it. But yeah, I'll do a BRB. I'll be back for a little bit while this stuff is finishing off, and then I'll probably end it a little bit off. So yeah, please don't go anywhere, but if you do, that is also fine. It was lovely to hang out with you all, and I'll be back after the little break. Get to see the little BRB screen that I made. So, on in a bit. And we are back. Hello. We can see everything. Hopefully everything's good. I have done all the washing up. That is all nice and clean now. Cleaned down as much as I can at the moment, because obviously there are still things that I need to do about. Mostly everything else is put away, sorted. And I've got this back out because what I'm actually going to do, as I'm still here for a little bit longer, while I wait for the other bit out and take up in a sec, I'm going to toast off some coconut, and then I'll put that aside to have with the ice cream. So I'm just going to get caught up on chat. Oh, that is good to know, Andy. I will definitely check out that. Here we go, move that over. But yeah, welcome back everybody. Hope the break has treated you well. Very, very red now, I think. I'm very warm now. I'll be glad to have this oven off. Because it is definitely kicking out some heat, especially when I'm stood next to it. Is this tea? I thought you were like a coffee maker. That's great. Try this off a little bit. I will add, I know obviously I took the stuff out. So this was a clean tea. I'm using it for other things now. Yes. This is a nice clean tea towel. I will then throw over there. Then find some coconut in the chaos that is this cupboard. I actually do need because there's not a lot in here. Yeah. Don't know how long to actually toast it for. This is going to be a little bit of an experiment, but I just want to get a little bit of colour on it. Put that in the oven. Get out the veg. That's been in there for almost 20 minutes now. So, just in case there are anybody that missed what we're making, a lot of this is just prep work earlier. I sort of wanted something that I could easily put down, pick up and everything. Test stream. This is the first time streaming in a while, but also the first time ever of actually doing a cooking stream. So they're two very new things to me, and I wanted something that was nice and easy, you know, not pay too much attention to, not worry about, you know, losing a finger. So this is the vegetable base for root vegetable soup. It's gonna be like spiced soup. Currently just like roasting off the vegetables. Got carrots, swede, parsnips, a bit of red onion in there as well. So we're roasting these off, Sneeze. All good. Okay. Face away from the veg when I sneeze. Okay. Yeah, so we've got all the veg in there. We're roasting that off. And then we're going to put it in a bag. We'll wait for it to cool. Put it in a sort of like plastic zip seal. And then either put that in the fridge and I'll do something with it later off stream, or just put that in the freezer as is, and then defrost it, blitz it down in the blender, make a soup with it. So yeah, that was that one. We have also made a very large tray of sweet potato fries, which are, I've laid them out on a nice big flat tray. Those are drying, and then I'm going to put them on a freezer proof tray, put them in the freezer so that I spread them out in layers, freeze them, and then portion them in the bags as well. And we also roasted off made some honey roast carrots and parsnips. Those have been part roasted. Those are going to go in well to sort of make it nice and easy to make a quick roast dinner, because they usually take an hour by themselves. Between those and roasted potatoes, they are the things that take the longest. Sometimes if I'm really lazy, I buy like the pre-made bags of roasted potatoes, and those take significantly less time. So if I've got some of those with the pre-made parsnips and carrots, they actually take significantly less time, which is great. So we've got those roasted off with a bit of honey, bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, herbs. I like to sort of keep those flavoured but neutral so that they go with any go particularly nice with things like pork and chicken, obviously. But I do sometimes have them with lamb as well, or the roast of. And then the last thing that we did was, well, actually it was technically the first thing that we did here, but the last one I'm mentioning is coconut ice cream. This is one that I haven't tried before. First, brand new recipe to me. Found it a few weeks ago. I've been meaning to try it. And then recently bought a new freezer so that I can actually put the ice cream maker basket that comes inside it in there. So got the ice cream maker out, the basket or the compartment that you put the ice cream in is in the freezer already, so that's been chilling. So yeah, made the ice cream base that is chilling in the fridge. I'm actually gonna check it to see how warm it is, because we may or may not be able to put it now. And it did say in the recipe about 4 hours to chill, but it's cold. Don't think it will be, but if it is, it's a little bit cold, but when I put my hand on the bottom of the container, it's still a lot warmer than the outside, so it's not quite cold yet. I want it to be as cold as it can possibly be before freezing, because obviously otherwise it'll take longer to churn, and what it usually means is it'll heat up the the frozen basket of the ice cream maker before it's actually set as an ice cream. So I want to make sure that it is fridge cold and then going straight from the container into the ice cream maker to just to keep the temperature going down rather than it sort of heating everything up. And then so yeah, probably going to be another couple of hours realistically. To be fair, we have actually been on for about 2.5 hours, nearly 3 hours. So that is technically round about sort of like getting closer to the time it should be ready, but yeah, I don't think it'll be. But that's fine. I'll make sure to take pictures when I finished it. Make sure to take pictures off stream, and I will probably, like, as soon as it's ready from there, I will probably take out a couple of scoops and have that. It is so hot. So hot in here. Ooh. Ah! Glad it looked, because our coconut is toasted. I'm just gonna get something to on the stick. That is perfect. I don't actually know how long I left it. That is perfect level of toasted. We've got some toasted coconut to go on top of the coconut ice cream. Mostly for a little bit of garnish, but also for a little bit of like texture and flavor. I'm not gonna run it through the ice cream because I don't want the crunchy texture running through it. So we're just gonna like use that to sprinkle on, but it'll be fine. Yeah, so the only thing that we haven't really like fully made is the ice cream. The base is sitting in the fridge. Yeah, that's everything that we've done. I was initially planning to do some veggie burgers, but ran out of carrots. So that as they are carrot and kidney bean predominantly, that might be a bit of an issue. So we've just done the bits that we can today, and in fairness, I didn't think I was going to be on this long. I didn't think I was going to be on this long without running into major technical difficulty. So touch wood. You know, we should be able to do this again at some point, and hopefully I will get something sort of sorted out so I can either be on longer or like prep things before. But in fairness, all you would actually be able to see is that still sitting in the background, and probably just hear the horrible noise that it makes because it's very loud. So churning the ice cream on stream, I don't think you guys would really care to see it anyway. Hey Trem, welcome in. Hello, nice to see you. Take some peanut butter and chocolate ice cream, please. Oh, you know, I'd actually be tempted to make chocolate ice cream. I don't know how I feel about peanut butter in ice cream. I think I have had peanut butter in ice cream, but I'm a bit funny when it comes to peanut butter. I don't really like peanut butter in cooked. And I don't remember being that much of a fan of it when I had it in high school. Having said that, try making it on my own. Probably. And also, you know, like roasting off some little like chopped nuts as well to put on. Yeah, welcome in Trem. How are you doing? It's cold in there. Let her out. You know what? I think Cold actually would probably be very happy to be in the fridge right now because I know that it's been boiling where she is, and also she's feeling a little bit poor. Bless her. Probably be nice to be in the fridge for a little while. How are you doing, Trem? How is everybody? I am, as I said before the break, sort of coming towards the end of the test stream, I think. Once I've let that stuff cook off for a little bit longer. I want that to be fairly roasted down because that is going to be blended, so it sort of needs to be cooked through. That stuff with the carrots and parsnips, those are deliberately part roasted. They will be cooked again once I'm actually like making the roasting. Whereas the stuff for the soup, that is intentionally going to be like fully cooked through, so I can then just soft and throw it in the blender with a bit of milk, probably the coconut milk I've got left over, and then make the soup. Cooked through. Almost. Yeah. Ice cream. Once that's cooled off, I'm also going to put it in like a little tub. I've got some little Tupperware tubs, so I'll put it in there, and then sort of just get a little bit of spring. Yeah, this is sort of more the chatting portion of the stream. I have done everything else, and I can't think of anything else to prep. I've run out of veg in the fridge. At least veg that I can prep on stream. Which is good, because that was primarily the reason why I was doing this, in fairness, because I've had the veg in there for a couple of weeks. And especially with the parsnips, some of them looking a little bit rough. Case of use it or lose it. So I thought, well, prepping veg is quite boring. But, you know, if I turn it into a stream, have a chat, have a laugh, something, I feel doubly productive. I've done a stream and I've got all the boring veg prep out of them. So you guys have really helped me today. Kept me on task and kept me entertained as much as hopefully I've kept you entertained as well. I am sweating to death in here. It is very, very warm. But yeah, it's been really fun. So I'm gonna wait for that to cook for a little bit longer. It's probably when I'll sort of hope there's room in there for me to. You know what? The fridge is actually quite empty now. So in fairness, probably a bit. I did go shopping yesterday because the things that I had in the fridge. Pretty much the only things I had in there was few leeks, some cheese, and like literally all of the root veg. That was it. I was like, there is nothing in here I could make a meal out of. So yeah, went up to Aldi yesterday, got a few bits, got a nice big pork joint for roasting. I was almost tempted to prep that on stream, but watch, in fairness. I know some people can be a little bit icky about stuff, so I'll do that off stream. I'm going to roast that off, and I'll section it up, put half of it in the freezer. Fairly big, it's about that big. Which obviously, single person, I don't need to have much, so it just means I can sort of cut it up into more suitable sizes, and then I've got more in the freezer for when I want another. I want to do more food prep stuff available and my own ready meals instead of going and buying them from. Yeah, so I got some of that, and then I don't think what else I got. I got a few sort of treaty things today. Have a look around there. Right over in their plant food section, I had some frickles, some onion bhaji burgers. Fantastic for the most random things. So I'm really looking forward to it. I had onion bhaji burgers from somewhere else and they were and they stopped doing it. So now I found them again. That is fairly cold, so I'm going to find some that in. Here, you know. Not done a lot. Mostly because I was like, I don't want to use all the coconut, because if I accidentally burn it, I won't have any more to try again. So I just did a little bit, but that's actually been now ready. That in here. Got a little pot of it. Spring. How was that for the perfect size pot? Put a little label on that, just so I know when I've actually made that. Best thing I ever bought, these little like day of the week stickers. Are fantastic. Put that on there, and then even if I don't write the date, I at least know I made that on a Thursday. Don't have to worry. Usually I'll put the date on, but then it also means if I'm freezing stuff, I know when I put it in there. Really handy to have those. Because I find often writing on the freezer bags really work after a while, especially if the freezer bag gets wet, the writing comes off. Having those little sticks. And then just get this out again. Hindsight, I could have boiled some of the veg, but much the flavour. Mind if actually, I think what I'm going to do, put it back in the oven. I'm going to turn the oven off. An easy turn. So we're going to put it there. And then be quite loud. Okay, so got sick veg in the oven. We have, looking out for our ice cream, we have our ice cream base cooling, and I'll put that on in a bit. Veg here, our carrots and parsnips. Have our sweet potato fries, which will up drying board and then in the freezer. And yeah, I think that was everything. So I think that's probably where I'm going to cool it, because it is scorching in here, and as you can probably see by my slightly lobster red face, I need to go cool down. So I think I'm going to end stream and go sit in front of the fan for a little bit. Probably go watch some. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but I think this was definitely a success. I've really enjoyed doing Like to Watch. I know it was sort of quite more of a low-key, sort of chilled, not really a lot going on, but as I say, it was more, I wanted something that I could not pay too much attention to, so if I like peeling veg and stuff, I could still be glancing over. I heard a noise. It didn't tell me what the noise is. Is that a giant sticker? Because I can't see it from this side. But if that was, thank you very much, Who. Yes. Yeah, I wanted something that is, sort of easy enough for me to sort of still pay attention to, come in and out of. That meant I could still chat to you guys, see what's going on. And obviously not endanger myself by looking away while I'm holding a knife and stuff. This giant taco. I love that. Thank you very much, Hoove. But yeah, so I hope it's been okay. If you guys do have any suggestions, I think the one thing I don't actually have the ability to do is put in a command for Discord. I don't know, even if I have one, if the link would even still work. If I'm completely honest. So I don't have any of the commands or anything set up. This is very, very basic. But
also, have a pretty effect.
Aww, thanks, Hoove. What was I saying? Yeah, so I'm afraid in terms of commands, that's very limited. I think most of you, in fairness, are probably in my Discord anyway. If not, I am Crafty Rebel on Discord, so you'll probably be able to find me from various different networks. Yes, I also do have, and again I don't have a link for it, but I do have a dedicated VODs channel for streams now. So I have a dedicated channel on YouTube for the VODs, so this will be going up later. So shout out to anyone that's watching the VODs. Very, very kind of you to have made it all the way to the end here. Or if you've skipped all the way to the end, don't blame you. So I'll be putting that on there at some point. There's any actually. I've not done any of these for a while. I've forgotten how to actually, do a sign off from streams. Yeah, I have regular YouTube channel. I'm sort of in the process of trying to get more videos up on there more regularly. I've recently started playing a game called Campervan, Make It Home. It's sort of, you've seen Unpacking. It's kind of a similar vibe. It's sort of like, puzzly, really cute. Go on different adventures, see different, all of that stuff. It's really nice. And yeah, so I've been doing a YouTube playthrough of that. Should be another one going off on Saturday. I need to go in this, which is also why I need to run away so I can go sit in front of another screen. Yeah, so that's all the stuff that's going on. I will try and make sure that I get for the next one, I get the commands up so I can, go, this is the YouTube, boom, the Discord, boom. But for right now, yeah, guys, if you found me on here, it's probably because you've seen atting a Discord. So feel free to go follow. Thank you to everybody for the bits. The camera's just gone off. That was fantastic timing. I can't tell whether it's actually that the camera's going off or whether it's the display. So if I'm turning the camera off, please let me know. Also, hi, is that Bakery Uke? Hi, welcome in. Hi, New Food and Drink Face. hopefully you had a wonderful stream today. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry that I've sort of seen you just at the end here. Yeah, had a really good one. Probably just a display, because you'll see. Oh, okay. That's that's something that I need to work out then, because I keep turning it off thinking that it's a display that's going off, not the camera. Gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely something in the settings about later. But yeah, it's been a really lovely stream. Hopefully everybody found it that way. You guys are still here, so obviously hopefully I'm not that boring. Or you're just really kind people. Either way, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna head off, go cool down, because my brain is melting. Glad to see some new faces in the category of today's grub. Oh well, thank you. Yeah, well, hopefully I will be back in this category soon. And hopefully the food does taste good. We've got loads of roasted veg off. I will have some coconut ice cream in a little while. It's gonna be really good. Yeah, I'm coconut ice. Oh boy, it's so warm. Yeah, for the next one, I will try and make sure I get all of the various plugs in. For anyone that is in Discord, I will post when the next video goes live, and I will also post when the next stream is. I will aim to be on back on again next Thursday. I think I'm gonna try and aim for one a week for now. Just because I don't do lots of cooking like this anyway. It may not be a cooking stream, it may be a game, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't tend to do a lot of like the big cooking. So I think if realistically aiming for one a week, hopefully. But yeah, we will see. So that's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, joining. This has been a very successful test stream, in my opinion. Haven't had any catastrophes, so very happy, and hope I will see you all next week. Take care.